Welcome or welcome back. You already know that my name is Lightworker Whit, and I'm so excited to get into your May forecast for 2025. Now, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I feel like I say that every month, but you know, I'm growing and learning as I go to make this more efficient as I am building this YouTube channel. So I really like what I did for the rest of April forecast, where I pre-shuffled everything and then I started recording. I think I'm going to do that again as well, just to cut out a little bit of the fluff. And I don't know if you guys like that time. In my head, it makes it more real and more one-on-one to see me shuffle in the moment. But because I have so many videos to export, it's more video content that needs to get exported. And the lengthier the video is, the longer it takes to export. And I'm just interested in seeing how much smoothly this might go for me if I shuffle your cards in advance and jump right into each section. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I feel like I've built up enough trust at this point for you to know that I'm not just like plucking random cards to make a reading. That's the other part of why I used to let you see me shuffle, so you know I'm not like making anything up. But I think we have enough trust at this point. I think we're there. I would like to believe so anyway. And that is what I'm going to be doing. So with that being said, I want us to be able to kind of just get a moment of grounding, and we will do that in a moment. Just so you can still set your intentions for each section, all right? So if you don't know what we're going to get into, we're going to get into your monthly forecast overall, where we're looking at the month of May in advance, right? And what to expect and how it's going to go for you. And then we're going to look into your love life, love and relationships, what to expect, the unexpected theme of the month. And then we're going to do that same exact spread for your career and finances, what to expect, the unexpected theme of the month. I'm generally do pull the oracle card. I think we're going to work with spirit animal this month, so we'll get a spirit animal card. I usually like to pick them at the beginning. I'll read them at the end to give us a really good rounded out feeling of what May will bring for you. But before I get into our little grounding session, I want to personally thank my light keepers. If you're watching this in May, that means you. And so you should probably see the list of names and contributors here. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here and supporting this channel. This list is growing, and I really, really, really am so grateful for your engagement. And I look forward to the day where this list is a little bit too long, that it's a little bit too cumbersome to put all the names. Or maybe that I'll have to do like credits, like it's like a video. Well, we look forward to and manifest that, right? Thank you so much. If you're not a light keeper, but you'd like to be, the link should be in the description below so that you can get my monthly forecasts when they come out and not watch them after the month has already passed, because I make them available to the public after the month has already finished. So it's great to watch in hindsight, but if you want to get the information when it happens, go ahead and become a light keeper. If you happen to be watching this on mobile, YouTube does not have a join button, I don't believe, on my page. So that's why I put it in the description below, because it's not really easy to find how to join if you're on mobile. It's easier to find if you're on desktop, not so easy if you're on mobile, but I've tried to make it really easy for you, so it's simple. Okay, with that being said, grab your journal, okay? Get a journal, okay? I've got one here. One of my journals are here, by the way. If you don't know, one of my journals are here that you can get on Amazon. My words have power. That's really good. And I have another one that I think I gifted to a client, Incantations of a Creatrix. That one is a line journal as well. And then, of course, my Moon Manifestations journal is there as well. So check those out. But grab a journal. And before we get into this reading, let's go ahead and set an intention of what you are expecting, calling in, manifesting for the month of May. So I want you to just take a couple seconds to do that. Feel free to pause this video. So that way you know what your goal is. You're setting an intention in advance of hearing this reading, so that when you're listening to how to be guided for your specific manifestations and intentions. Does that make sense? So that way you take a little bit control over this collective reading. Does that make sense? So you can easily discern what's for you and what's not, okay? It's really, really important for me as a tarot reader to really enforce that you have free will. The information that myself or other people put out there, it's to help you, but you're ultimately the one that's in control. I do this for my own reading. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck that's about. And I move on, and sometimes it resonates, sometimes it doesn't. I think for one of my readings recently, I got the Tower, and I'm just like, great. I don't know what that is, but whatever. And it could be something really small or not. I don't know, but I'm not going to let it stress me. It could just be like a small change that I'm not expecting, right? So take some control. Take a deep breath. Release it. Amazing. Let's do one more. Feel free to pause the video here, and when you're ready, come back and I'll have your card shuffled for your monthly forecast. I do want to say this for Leos specifically, because I'm actually starting with you this month. You guys know I usually do you last, but I said on my last video, I was like, you know what, I'm going to work backwards this time because I feel like I'm always rushing Aquarius, Pisces, and Leo, because that's the order that I record in. And I usually look haggard and I look a mess, whereas like Aries gets like the put together version of me because I'm like starting these a little bit earlier, and then by the time I'm trying to finish the forecast, I'm just trying to get it out. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna work backwards. I do want to say for Leo, because I have not done my May forecast yet, I think May is gonna be good for us. Why is this oily? Okay. Oh, because last night I used some of my oil. So I do want to say, and I'm actually going to my personal annual forecast because I haven't done my forecast for May yet. Before I shuffle your cards, because I'm doing you first, I think May is going to be pretty lit for us. Number one, Mars is finally in fucking Leo. Thank God. Having Mars in Cancer was rough. And I'm just going to my forecast for May. I'm a little confused because I've got some cards that make me a little nervous personally. I have the Two of Cups reversed next to the King of Wands reversed and the Seven of Swords. Now, back in January, I was nervous I was going to be dumped or something, but I have not been dating anybody. So I don't even know what this could point to. I also have the Beware card, but I also have the Abundance card, January, February, March, April, May. And then I have something else. I pulled like 6 cards for myself. I didn't do this the most organized way. Look to your inner strength. So it's making me a little nervous of like how things are going to come together for May. But that's for me personally. So I'm just wanting that documented because I don't know what we're about to get into for this collective. Okay, so I want to get grounded and I want to see what Spirit has for the collective. So I really don't know what to anticipate really for May. So I'm interested to see for both of us. Okay, let's get into it. All right, Leo, so there's definitely a few cards that I want to clarify, but I'm going to start with what we have in front of me. So current self at the top of May is Four of Swords, which is rest, recovery, relaxation. I can definitely personally relate to this because for me, for the month of April, business has been really slow, but instead of what I would normally personally take as like anxiety and like, oh my God, why I don't have a business, I have now learned at this point in my business that, hey, we need to enjoy the seasons of rest because at the flip of a dime, shit can turn up and then we'll be wishing we enjoyed that season of rest rather than spending our time being anxious. And that really seems to be the vibe of me for April. We're not even done with April because I'm recording these in advance. But you're starting off the month of May still kind of like in the energy of like feeling rested, feeling recovered. And I really think that's the vibe for you. However, the theme of May, you're going to feel a little on a string. We have Hangman. Now, the Hangman does represent a couple different things, right? In its most positive meaning, most positive interpretation, it is about changing your perspective, seeing things differently, sometimes having to take 2 steps back in order to take 2 steps forward, right? You're being forced to kind of like slow down sometimes and like reevaluate a little bit. I think I might crack the book open on this to see there's some really good interpretations of the Hangman. Now, most negatively, this month, you might feel as if you're at the mercy of other people. You might feel like you can't get ahead because you're waiting on other people or circumstances, or you're waiting on answers from other people. You're just feeling like you're on the edge of your seat all month. Like you literally just feel like, okay, I'm just here, and like, when is shit gonna like come together? That might be how you're feeling, but we'll come back to that and confirm. Key goal to pursue this month is King of Cups. This to me would be to maintain your emotions and kind of retain your emotional stability. The King of Cups is also water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I love this card so much. I wish this man was real. He also really, I say this every time, he reminds me of somebody I dated once who I still wish in my heart of hearts, if the universe would bring us back together, that would be so lovely. Not that I'm a girl who's like, you know, trying to manifest her SP back, but if the universe brings us back together, I wouldn't be mad at that one. Wouldn't be mad at that one. King of Cups could be another masculine energy that maybe you're pursuing a connection with, but the King of Cups in general is someone who is very level-headed emotionally, someone who is able to weather a storm. They've got their shit together. They're not easily rocked. And I feel like I have like a piece of lint on my lip. I'm so sorry. All right, we'll come back to this. Like I said, it could be water sign energy and Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I don't think that's the message, though. I think this is more about emotional stability, like remaining cool, calm, and collected. Obstacle to overcome is High Priestess. So this would be your intuition. Maybe you're feeling disconnected from your intuition or what's true for you. Sometimes, too, the High Priestess card can symbolize, like, be careful like who you trust. I don't really think that's the message here, but I really think it would be closer related to your intuition, your religion, your spirituality. Maybe you're feeling disconnected from it. You're feeling like you don't know what's right for you. Maybe you're also a tarot reader or a business owner in the occult, and maybe you're trying to figure out some new ways to kind of get that going or ramped up. Okay. Major accomplishment is King of Wands here, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So by the end of May, it seems like you should be feeling back to yourself, feeling like you're back in control, feeling like you've got vision again and you know exactly where you're going. That's why I said this was so interesting, because my personal, I don't use reversals in this forecast. I'm looking at my personal one for May, and I've got the King of Wands reversed. So I'm just like, okay, so all of May, I'm just about to feel like the Hangman. I don't know. And that could be true, right? Theme of the month is Hangman, because your obstacle to overcome is overcoming your intuition and getting back into control and alignment. Again, we'll confirm some of these things. All right. What to avoid is the Lovers. That's really interesting. The Lovers does represent the sign of Gemini, in case there's a Gemini in your life that you're being called to stay away from. The Lovers does represent unions, contracts, and partnerships. It also represents alignment with your higher self and your values and duality, okay? Oh, I just realized I'm gonna have to text that person. Sorry, I just realized that I didn't hear from somebody. Sorry, anyway. So this is interesting in the position of what to avoid. That's gonna be something else I wanna investigate here. And maybe if you're in a committed relationship, maybe this is about you needing to give your partner space this month. We're definitely interested to see what comes up in your love and relationships reading. Maybe this is the message to avoid going back to an ex. I don't know. Avoid engaging in a partnership that might not be good for you. I don't know. However, we do have what to embrace, Knight of Pentacles, hard work and dedication. You are going to be really dedicated to your work this month. This is all about rinse and repeat, you know? I feel, the Knight of Pentacles is about discipline. And so I don't really think May, based on what I'm looking at, is the month where you've got new ideas and you're trying something new. It's like, okay, this is what's working right now. We're just going to keep doing this. We're going to keep, I don't know why, in my head, this is a wheel, and this is, because when I think of the Knight of Pentacles, there's a lot of other decks, like he's looking over land. And so in my mind, he's toiling land, he's working the land. So, this is the process that works for us. And this is what we're going to keep doing and working at, because we can't afford right now to risk trying something new. That to me is really kind of what I'm getting from that. Do keep working what's been working for you right now, this month. Where to find support is Two of Swords, which is indecision. Okay. This is likely you overcoming indecision, because again, you're struggling between what's logical and what you want to do right now. Usually, and this is what I've been doing lately, I don't know if I've told you or said this in a different sign or video. I've been doing something lately called, magic wand. And that's like a trigger or a key for me to say, okay, magic wand, I have an abundance of resources. I have an abundance of, time and energy, and I can make anybody do whatever I want. What am I doing? And that helps me decide really easily what I want, what I actually want versus what I think I should do. And that helps me attune to that outcome. So a good example of this is I'm sure my car needs a tune-up, I'm sure, along with brakes and something else. I don't know. It always needs something. It's a used car. I own it, which is great, but pretty much every 3 months it needs work. So then I was like having a moment. I was like, at this point, does it just make sense to just lease a car at this point, to just get a car note? And I'm really, I don't really talk about this much, but I'm really against car notes. I don't like car notes. That's a financial trauma thing for me. It's not something we're going to get into today. It's really important for me to own a vehicle. So I was like, but I don't feel comfortable right now to buy a vehicle. So I was thinking, maybe I should just finally, get a car note, because I'm always having to pay for this car. And maybe at this point it might be more cost effective to just get a car note. And so then I said to myself, okay, Whitney, magic wand, abundance of money, abundance of time. What's happening? You're just going to fix your car. That's it. I'm not, if I have the means, I'm just going to get it fixed. I'm not going to worry about it, because at this time, I don't really care about going through the hoops and loops of getting a new car. And so even though, sure, it might be maybe fiscally more responsible for me or whatever to get a new car, maybe, I don't know. And that's what I'm talking about. That's why it's easy to get into analysis paralysis, because you're like, oh, if I crunch the numbers, maybe I could save $50 a month by just getting a new car. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. And you guys know over here, I'm very attuned to energy versus what the logical choice is. So use that magic wand. What are we doing? So you can decide, what do you actually want? Okay, great. That's what I actually want. How can I make sure I shift my energy towards that outcome, instead of being stuck in, oh my God, I don't know. I think I might just need to get a new car, and I don't even know how that's going to work. And you go down a rabbit hole by trying to figure out how to make the logical possible. No, fuck that. I need to get some work done for my car, so we're going to attract and be a vibrational match to extra money to go ahead and get that car fixed. Done. That's it. And we're moving on, right? Advice and encouragement is Knight of Swords. So this is information, action, moving really quickly, moving really fast. So I think by the end of May, your life should be, I wanted to say in warp speed, but sure, that's the word that came through. Warp speed. We've got major accomplishment with the King of Wands, and then advice and encouragement is the Knight of Swords. This is also air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but to me, this is about taking flight. It's moving ahead. Your back of the deck energy is also the Chariot, which is determination, willpower, momentum. I often look at the back of the deck energy as what's already happened, but it could be of what your underlying energy is. The Chariot representing the sign of Cancer, and the Chariot also representing travel, moving, getting ahead. I don't know. So let's clarify a couple things here. Let's start with the Hangman. Why is the Hangman here for theme of the month for Leo? Why is Leo feeling stuck? Okay, we got Page of Wands and Wheel of Fortune. I don't know, you might be waiting on money or a payout, or waiting for a big break, searching for a big break. The Page of Wands is about freedom, exploration, seeing what's out there. It also does represent the fire signs. The Page of Wands, all of the pages are considered messengers as well. I said I wanted to look into the Hangman. When the hangman appears in a tarot reading, your projects and activities may be coming to an unexpected and abrupt halt. Don't keep pushing forward, hoping that more force will drive you to where you want to go. Instead, surrender to the opportunity to pause and view it as your chance to reassess and reevaluate where you are on your path. Something new is emerging, and you won't be able to see it unless you allow the time and space for it to come through. That's pretty much the portion I wanted to read. Everything else is kind of like the same thing, just said differently. Why is the hangman here for Leo? Theme of the month. Hard work. Just feeling like you're really grinding. Seems like an energy of grinding in May. Really, really grinding. Which is why you need to welcome, or hopefully grateful for, the energy of April of just kind of like, and I said this too. I said, Leo, April's going to feel a little uncomfortable because you're just kind of like, here's what I said. Let's actually see. I said, you're waiting, you're watching, and holding this month. Feels like an athlete that wants to be in the game, but coach keeps telling them they're not ready. Literally, that was the vibe. Or being put in timeout or forced to do your homework. While you may think this is a waste of time, you're being molded and developed right now. You're not done cooking. April's all about having patience with yourself and divine timing. And in that time, be productive. Make plans for your future manifestations. Expect them to be on the way to you. Make use of your passion and energy right now, even if you can't use it in the way you'd like. I do think unexpectedly a new love interest is coming on the scene if you're single. If partnered, your boo may end up spoiling you and showing you off lots. Okay. It's April 19th today, so no new love interest for me, but maybe for you. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But that was my summary for April. We still have 10 days for this energy to play out. But I think some of that is spilling over with this hangman here. Okay, you're coming off feeling, okay, just kind of holding back, just resting, on the sidelines, right? Waiting for coach to put you in. But now the theme of May, you're just kind of like, okay, but like, when is shit gonna pop? It seems like you're still waiting. It feels like you're still waiting for your moment to strike. I'm seeing a panther and like you're waiting for your moment to attack your prey. Does that make sense? But again, reassessing, realigning. Clarify, please, Knight of Cups. Ooh, that was too many. King of Cups for Leo. Eight of Cups, walking away. Okay. Now remember, this is in key goals to pursue. Being alone, maybe. Clarify key goals to pursue for Leo this month. Knight of Pentacles again. Spirit. See why I was talking about working the land. Spirit really wants you to be dedicated and hardworking this month. Clarify King of Cups, please, for Leo. And then we also have the Six of Cups and Page of Pentacles. This could be about doing something you used to do in the past. The Six of Cups is about the past, reminiscing the good old days. Page of Pentacles is an offer as well. Maybe this is in connection to helping or supporting a water sign in your life or a water sign in the past with this King of Cups. This seems to be related to work. Oh, look. Mature women, concerned, family room. Just fell in my lap. Clarify, please. Key goals to pursue for Leo. We have house and sudden wealth. Okay, we love that. We love that. So this all seems to be related to your work life and your emotions personally. I do think an offer is coming in with this Page of Pentacles. An offer is coming in and you are really going to have to be locked into your intuition, your emotion. But with that being said, let's move to your block, your obstacle to overcome. Why is the High Priestess here? We've got the Ten of Swords and the Nine of, oh, that's interesting. The Ten of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. Now, this could be an end to your independence. I don't know. if you are single or work alone, maybe maybe you're playing with the idea of working with a partner. Remember I said this is what to avoid, the lovers. Maybe unexpected. Like, I think something's coming to an end unexpectedly, this Ten of Swords here, and it seems to be related to either your finances or your career, or something about your independence. Nine of Pentacles is independence. Wealthy man here, okay. Maybe somebody will be significant in some way to your income or your business dealings. Back-to-the energy here is Two of Cups. Clarify obstacle to overcome for Leo. Seven of Swords and a Hierophant. I'm not sure, are you running away from conformity? Are you running away from a day job? Are you trying to be strategic in your work life? Sometimes Seven of Swords is strategic. But with the High Priest, if all of this to clarify the High Priestess, the Hierophant also represents spiritual teacher. I feel like I'm having deja vu. I feel like I've said this before. There seems to be something that you need to overcome. I know this sounds crazy, Leo, but I think what the obstacle is, it's about expansion. Because the Nine of Pentacles, she does shit alone. She does shit by herself. But I think Spirit's trying to tell you, all right, it's time to start thinking bigger. And I think the challenge is you having to become a version of yourself that thinks bigger, where you're used to. Leos typically like to work alone. They typically like to do things themselves. But I think you're reaching a state where you've got to expand and start working. The Hierophant represents organizations, institutions, doing something the tried and true way. And that's why I'm saying expansion. You're moving from just doing something solo to now having to be a little bit more organized and working with other people. But it's this Ten of Swords feels like something's coming to an end for me. And for me, it's an end of this independence of doing things alone. But you've got to be really strategic about how you bring that to fruition with the Seven of Swords. Yeah, you got to get out of your head. Imprisonment here. Feeling stuck. Message coming through. Expect an important message to be significant. I don't want to work that too much. Let's see what comes up in career and love. And then lastly, not lastly, because I want to see what this Lovers is about. Let's see why the King of Wands is here for major accomplishment. Unexpected income by the end of May. Great. We love it. Four of Wands, stability, domestic harmony. I love by the end of May, you should definitely be feeling more in your element, more in control. Okay, High Priestess and Two of Pentacles coming out again. I was trying to see what was going to come out for the Lovers, but I didn't really feel very focused, if I'm being very honest, so let me try to do that again. Why is the Lovers to avoid? It's Eight of Wands, Two of Wands. Okay. So what just fell out is the Eight of Wands, which is travel, moving quickly, sometimes getting carried away. Two of Wands, planning ahead, looking towards the future. The Moon, which is Pisces energy, and King of Wands, which is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I think I know what this is for me. high key on think, but did I say the moon is Pisces energy? I did. To me, this feels like don't be so quick to make future plans with someone right now. Because not all is clear. Not everything is clear. And it feels like something that sounds good, something that you can easily get carried away with this Lovers here. Like, it feels like somebody's like selling you on a dream. Yeah, and like if we move in, then we could save money, and then like you could focus on your painting more. I don't know, that's coming through. And then I could do this more, and it'll be great, and let's just do this. It feels like somebody's like trying to sell you on something, on like joining together with the Lovers here. But I don't think you should go for it. I think there's something here that is yet to be revealed, so be very careful. Okay, I think I've unpacked enough of what I wanted to look into. I'm going to go ahead and clear this so we can get into your love and relationships, okay? Drop some comments below if this resonates. Okay, my beautiful Leo. So this is great. It seems like to me, okay, so if this is your first time here, I interpret this for people who are single and dating or in committed relationships. If you're single and there's no prospects, listen anyway, take what resonates, but get yourself out there, be dating, make yourself an energetic match to what you want to attract, right? And you do that by focusing on the positive and what you desire. Don't focus on what you don't want, okay? All right, so to me, this feels like a connection that didn't go forward is now gaining speed. This really feels like to me, whether you were not investing in a connection or they were not investing in a connection, now all of a sudden it's coming together. That's what I'm feeling from this. I could be wrong. I'm going to try to interpret this maybe for people who are not dating. If you're not dating, if you're married, if you're committed, there's some sort of win happening here, like something to celebrate, something to celebrate maybe together. It feels like you may be finding new ways to connect and get the spark back, even like there's some sort of creativity being infused into the relationship that is allowing it to grow, and you're moving past what has previously felt like someone was holding back. I really think you're moving past that energy of feeling like if you or someone else has been closed off. Even too, as a couple in your finances, like if you guys have felt like maybe your finances as a couple were feeling a little stagnant, that too is moving forward. I'll explain a little bit why I'm saying that later. That could be a message here as well with the unexpected, that maybe you as a couple, you guys are finding new ways to gain income. If one way was if one well was running dry, if you will. There seems to be an uptick in the energy in your relationship, both emotionally and also financially. So I love that. Let me tell you why. What to expect. We've got the King of Cups and the Six of Wands. King of Cups here again. Remember, the King of Cups was here in Key Gold to Pursue. King of Cups is water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. In this deck, he's showing up reverse. But we have the Six of Wands here, which represents success, victory, achievement. So this is why, for me, I'm saying it feels like somebody that was maybe out of the picture is maybe now coming back, and this is maybe somebody you wanted to come back onto the scene, or maybe you were looking forward to coming back onto the scene. If you are in a committed relationship, it could be that if your partner was emotionally checked out, maybe they're checking back into the connection, they're reinvesting into the connection and relationship. And it might even be for some of you that you're excited to have gotten rid of the King of Cups energy, whoever that may be, someone who was emotionally unstable or perhaps a water sign. There's something to celebrate here, okay? So those would be kind of like the three ways that I would interpret that. The unexpected, we've got the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. Page of Wands is upright, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Whereas the Page of Pentacles is reversed. I'll show it to you upright. Page of Pentacles here is earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. With it being reversed, I see this as somebody who had gotten lazy. They didn't want to invest into the energy, but now, or to like the job or whatever, but now there's this kind of re-excitement, recommitment of like to explore and see what's out there, see what's possible, see how you can create. That's really the vibe of the Page of Wands. They want to create. They're eager to communicate about what they're doing, what they're creating, what they're inspired by, you know? That's why I feel like it really feels like somebody who was stopped investing into a relationship, whether it's you or somebody else, is now kind of like got their head back in the game. They're like, okay, I'm actually like present here. Like I'm actually like into this. I want to pursue this. Child, no. Spirit, really? Okay. Spirit just gave me, y'all remember High School Musical? Get your head in the game. You gotta get your head in the game. Y'all remember what was his name? Corbin Blue with all that hair. Child, that man was so gorgeous with all that hair. I don't know why Spirit gave that to me, but I don't know if you're dating somebody that looks like Corbin Blue or maybe plays basketball. I don't know. That was funny. And the message could also be that maybe you, fire sign energy, Page of Wands, maybe you're deciding, you know what, I want to see what's out there. I'm ready to explore again after maybe taking a time off, taking a break. Maybe after having taken a period of a break from dating, you're ready to, okay, let me try this again. And I had another thought, but I lost it. Could be you that has been tapped out of a relationship, of a connection in general, unavailable, on Do Not Disturb. I don't know. I mentioned that perhaps you and your partner, if you're in a committed relationship, are finding new ways to put the spark back, because the Page of Wands is a fire sign and she is creative. She is spunky. She is excited. And I think that there's an awareness that things have gotten dull, but like unexpectedly, there's some fun being infused back into the relationship, some playfulness being infused back into a relationship or in your love life in general after what feels like a period of stagnation, whether you're single or not. Okay. Now, theme of the month, we've got Knight of Swords again, air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This was your same card for advice and encouragement. So again, I think things are moving quickly in your love life unexpectedly, next to the Three of Wands, which is about advancement, waiting on your ships to come in, like next level, like you're ready to ride that wave. It's progress, right? I think your relationship is reaching a new level. Then we've got Four of Pentacles here, which is security, holding back. Now in this deck, it looks like obviously mistrust, but the Four of Pentacles represents conservatism, holding back, holding on to what you have, kind of being conscious with how you spend your time and energy and money. In the most positive sense, it represents security. You're not rich and abundant, but you've got what you need. But it's next to the Ten of Pentacles here, which for me, I'm interpreting this as especially wedged between the Three of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. It feels like you're moving past this energy where you or your partner are just holding back and really actually able to enjoy each other and advance. Ten of Pentacles here, abundance, luxury, wealth, next level, generational, whatever. My dog is at the door. She's feeling left out. I had to close it because my dishwasher was really loud. Okay. Page of Swords reverse also here. But again, it's next to the Ace of Swords. I really just feel, and I high key on air sign energy again, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I really feel like if there was somebody who you weren't talking to, or there was a lack of communication, there's now going to be communication with this Ace of Swords coming in here. And maybe it's you who didn't communicate everything you wanted to communicate. For Leo, I think that's unlikely, but but maybe, right? Maybe you didn't get to say everything you wanted to say, or maybe you just cut off communication with somebody, or vice versa, you just stopped hearing from somebody. I think whatever has kept you in lack of communication or non-communication with somebody, it feels like new ideas, new clarity is coming in, new communications coming in. This definitely doesn't feel like a new connection to me, but it could be. If you're in a committed relationship, I just see this as growth, as progress, as you guys are communicating better. You guys, like, there's fast momentum in your relationship now. I know, Sasha, I'm sorry. All right. She'll be okay. All right, passion is what came out first. All right. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy and soulmate. So I'm obviously pleasantly surprised to see these cards out here. Oh my God, my dog is having a fit. Sorry, guys. But God forbid I close the fucking door in this house. Please go to one of your 2 beds that are in here. I don't know what you thought I was doing. I would turn the camera around so y'all could see her. She's so dramatic. All right, let's read passion and then soulmate, and then we'll move on to your career and finances. Now, this is interesting because what to avoid was the Lovers, right? So let's see what comes up in your career and finances, because maybe now the Lovers is a business partnership, because this is looking pretty positive. I don't know that Spirit's telling you to avoid a connection altogether. I don't see any signs that would, to me, signify that maybe a connection would go south. Perhaps there is a possibility with the Knight of Swords and the 3 of Wands that this is about you moving on, possibly. I don't really see it as that in this reading, but it's possible. Maybe you're moving on if somebody happens to be non-communicative and you're just like, that's not what I want. But again, I don't think that's the message here. I'm just putting it out there. All right, passion. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, K, L, M, P. Y'all know this is alphabetical. Here we go. Your prayers for great love have been heard and answered, and it all begins with you. You have the power to revive passion in your life. Ooh, interesting on revive, because that's what I've been saying. Oh, I just realized I didn't pick an oracle card for you. We'll pick it. Okay. This card guides you to seek that which brings you great joy, such as a hobby, cause, or special activity. Anything that stirs your heart with joy will help passion bubble forth and positively flow into your romantic life. The romance angels say that having a passion for life itself is a requisite foundation for feeling passion in your love life. This means enjoying this moment completely, and when you do so with a partner, you inspire him or her romantically to, okay, hold on. The romance angels say that having a passion for life itself is a requisite foundation for feeling passion in your love life. This means enjoying this moment completely, and when you do so with a partner, you inspire him or her to romantically participate with you. If you're presently single, you can definitely enjoy passion in your activities and hobbies, and who knows, such pursuits may provide an opportunity to meet a wonderful partner who shares these passions. Now, we also have the soulmate card out here, so I would be inclined to believe that you're meeting somebody that you can vibe with. I also have, like for my personal forecast, I drew a romance angel card for myself for each month. And for the month of May, I personally got, it is safe for you to love, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So can only imagine, and I'm just giving you an example of how these other cards can be interpreted. I have not been dating. I have not been pursuing dating. I was kind of seeing somebody in the fall, winter, but it didn't really come together. And really, to even say I was seeing him is a stretch. But I pretty much shut that down at the end of January because I wasn't receiving the energy that he did not maintain the energy that he started pursuing me with, and I did not like how he started treating me, and I shut it down. I was like, no, we're not chasing breadcrumbs. So maybe, I'm just saying because the card is, it is safe for you to love, maybe this 4 of Pentacles is about you opening yourself back up if you've been closed off, right? And like, be open to this 10 of Pentacles energy. Not to say that it is safe for you to love was your card. That was just a card that I got from my annual forecast. But here it does seem like there's a connection that Spirit's saying, hey, you can move forward with this. You know, you don't have to be so closed off. You don't have to hold any grudges against your partner if you're not single. You know, let's read the soulmate card. All right. You chose this card because you wonder if a certain person is your soulmate. And the answer is yes. We have multiple. As we all do, you have many soulmates, beings with whom you share a mystical soul connection and life path. Soulmates incarnate with the plan of coming together for mutual spiritual and personal growth. As you suspected, the person you're inquiring about is one of yours. That sense of familiarity and comfort you felt when you first met also indicates your soulmate bond. This card sometimes comes to those who ask, when will I meet my soulmate? Or will I ever meet my soulmate? As validation that this will occur. Many times this is a person whom you already know. See, I don't think this is a new connection. Although romantic sparks didn't fly at first, you'll have another opportunity to explore passion together. I really don't think that there's a new person coming into your life. I think this is somebody that you know. Again, it's possible, right? It's always possible that you meet somebody new and whatever. But I think if you're single, either somebody you were dating is coming back around, and I would be more open to it because we're not in retrograde season right now. We're not in a Mercury retrograde. We're not in a Venus retrograde. So if they come back around, I think it's because they really want to be. And if you're in a committed relationship, it seems like you or your partner was not completely present in the relationship, but now they are, and you guys are kind of like allowing the relationship to grow, and it's expanding, and it feels really good to me. So that's what I have for your love life. Drop some comments below if this is resonating. I'm going to clear this, and let's move on to your career and finances. Okay, Leo, so for your career and finances, it feels like there's a lot of confusion around your career and finances. I keep thinking back to the Lovers card because it is here again, here in your career and finances card. So it seems like in the position of what to avoid, that Lovers connection may seem to be related to a significant connection in your work life. Now, you're going to, and this is where I really implore you to use your intuition. Perhaps Spirit is either telling you not to let go of a partnership, or to not work with somebody. It's really unclear to me, to be very honest. And usually that is the position I struggle with the most in terms of what to avoid. It's like, how do we know what to avoid? We've got a lot of reversals here. In fact, most of your cards are reversed, which to me is telling me that, like, it's hard because I have the Eight of Swords here reversed, which typically indicates coming out of your head. But I actually do feel like there is still a lot of uncertainty. But I'm going to do my best to interpret this, because that's the whole fun of doing these predictions, right? Like giving the information that comes through, and we're going to have to see how this plays out. All right, so first cards we have for what to expect. We've got the Four of Pentacles reversed and the Eight of Swords reversed. I'm going to show them to you upright. Four of Pentacles is typically about, again, withholding, clutching. You're kind of just trying to get your shit together. We just talked about that in your love reading. The Eight of Swords here is like feeling all in your head, feeling like a victim, feeling attacked. Typically when it's reversed, we're coming out of insecurity, and typically when the Eight of Swords is here, we're coming out of that analysis paralysis. Sometimes the Eight of Swords could indicate being stuck in this energy, and sometimes the Four of Pentacles can indicate that maybe you're releasing attachment to materialism when it's reversed. Sometimes it can relate to being clingy as well. Maybe you're clinging on to something or someone. In this particular reading, I'm seeing this as a relief of you releasing your attachment to certain material things, or if you releasing the energy of having to feel constricted, because it's next to the Eight of Swords. So something is going to cause you to be kind of get out of your head, especially because remember at the start of May, we've got the Four of Swords, which is rest. So I think you're starting off this month feeling cool, calm, and collected. And I don't think you have financial issues at the beginning of May. I don't. Which is why what I'm seeing here anyway of like the Four of Pentacles reversed, Eight of Swords reversed. I think you were in a place where you were in your head, especially about money, but I think at the top of May, I don't think it's a huge concern. Not to say it's not a problem, I just don't think it's a huge concern. The unexpected is the Seven of Swords and Ten of Swords reversed. I did clarify these cards. I've got two cards here. The Seven of Swords is about strategy, also someone being sneaky, kind of laying low, stealthy, right? But I often see it as strategy. Ten of Swords is ending. Second time the Ten of Swords is here. We had it with your High Priestess card in terms of obstacle to overcome. Remember, you had High Priestess, but now Ten of Swords is here reversed. We love to see the Ten of Swords reversed because that means the swords are falling out. The Seven of Swords indicates information coming to light. Something or someone is going to be revealed. Now, I wanted to clarify these cards, and guess what I have? The Knight of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Information coming in, perhaps from a love interest, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, if not. Now, with this being unexpected, especially in your career and finance reading, Leo, this could be related to your finances because maybe somebody that you used to deal with is coming back on the scene romantically, and maybe that's affecting your finances. If you're dating them, for example, like let's say, yeah, that could affect your finances. Like let's say, I also don't know how many, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whether you're male or female, dating is costly. Dating is costly for women, hair, nails, and makeup, to the upkeep, right? To look presentable, for men as well. And for men, it can be costly, especially the expense of dating, you know, picking a girl up. If I have men that still do that, it's been really nice that the guys that I've dated who ask to pick me up. It's been really nice, and they know I drive. I still appreciate the ask. And maybe picking restaurants, that kind of thing, like planning dates, it can be costly. So that's probably why it's coming up in the career reading here. But it seems like the unexpected is that a painful situation is no longer painful. Like it's coming to an end. The swords are falling out. Something's coming to light here, and it could be like there's some clarity coming in, and it seems to be around a love interest. And this maybe it affects your finances because maybe you've got a house with some, like, this is so specific, but this is just what came through. Maybe you have, like, let's say you were renting a home with somebody and like the relationship didn't come together and the guy left, and you're stuck with this house that you rented together and you haven't heard from them, and now all of a sudden they come back and they like want to help out and pay the bills or what. I don't know. That's a very specific example, but that's just what came through of like maybe how that could possibly manifest. But I'm just trying to tie it together on like how this could relate to, you know, your finances or career in general. If this is related to your career, the Knight of Cups represents doing something that you enjoy and that brings fulfillment to you. So in terms of the unexpected, again, I do still see it, the swords falling out, some information coming to light, and maybe you're receiving information about something you really do want to do. It seems like a storm is over, the worst is over, and like you're seeing clarity, and you're getting back into touch with like what you want to do, what's really actually fulfilling to you. I want to address one of the cards here. We do have the Destiny card present, okay? Believe in your dreams and passions. It is calling you to follow them. Whatever led you to this point in your life, it was to direct you to your higher purpose. New exciting adventures await you. Don't look back, only look to the future. Yeah, the Knight of Cups is also very like, they tend to be very emotional and creative and passionate about like what they do. It tends to be creative things like the fire signs. I feel like it's annoying. When I saw one of my comments on TikTok, they were like, fire and water don't mix, because I had posted something recently about Pisces. And I just don't agree with that. I think there's actually a lot of similarities between fire signs and Pisces. Just how we move through the world are just completely different. But I think there's a lot of similarities between fire signs and water signs, in my opinion. This also might be some acceptance here unexpectedly. I feel like there's I really just get an overwhelming feeling of relief in your career reading, and that has nothing to do with the cards in front of me. I just feel like there's some acceptance here coming in May where you're like, all right, you know what? This is where I am. This is where I want to go. That situation was fucked up. I don't want to deal with that again. It's feeling like you're having a come to Jesus moment with yourself about what's going well and what's not going well. And while I don't exactly see course correction, like I don't think that's the focus of May. I think it's happening, but I don't think that's the focus of May. I do feel like there's more acceptance for like what you've been through and more clarity for where you want to go. Hope that makes sense. All right, let's move on to theme of the month. We've got the Hermit reversed. The Hermit does represent the sign of Virgo here in case of Virgo is important, but with it being reversed, again, there's this energy here of kind of coming out of your shell. Something is either you or something or someone is coming out of hiding. Like, I think if you've been really low, if you've been in the background, you've been kind of like, everybody's like, where's Leo been at? Like, I feel like you're reemerging. 10 of Pentacles is reversed here. I don't love to see that here reversed, but it does, here's a card upright. Typically it's about abundance, wealth, which we just had in your love reading, but now here it is reversed. It's next to the 4 of Wands reversed. Oh, I see. Sorry. I was kind of struggling with this at first, but now I think I get it. All right. So there might be some issues with your family right now, Leo. I don't actually think this 10 of Pentacles is related to you now that I think about it. The 10 of Pentacles reverse can indicate conflict over money. Actually, yeah, this is all coming together now as I see this. Arguments is here. Okay. Be on guard with who you deal with in terms of any money-related matters. Make sure everything is in order to avoid monetary problems. There could be some financial disputes. I think there might be some financial challenges specifically with your family. The 4 of Wands here is domestic harmony, but it's reversed. So there is some disputes around money or some indecision around money regarding your family. This might be like, you know, maybe grandma made a change to her will. Maybe your parents need some financial assistance. Maybe your siblings need some help, or they're going through a divorce. You know, it could be a number of things. Maybe one of your older kids, like, you know, need to go to college. It seems to be something related to family and money that seems to be problematic. Okay, that you're involved in. I don't really know the solution, so maybe I'll pull an extra card on that. We also do have the Lovers here again, which is partnership alignment. This could also represent your partner or parents maybe. The Page of Pentacles is here, reversed here. Earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Again, somebody who's just not disciplined. They're not tapped in. They're kind of lazy. And Ace of Swords reversed here. Ace of Swords is here as well, but it's just here reversed. There's a lot of confusion around this family situation. I wanted to clarify the Lovers, and I got the Empress and Queen of Wands. The Empress is mother figure energy, and the Queen of Wands is fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could also be just somebody who's very spontaneous, very spunky, etc. I just heard don't get involved. Okay. I literally heard don't get involved. And maybe that's why we have the Lovers here of like what to avoid. Don't get involved, Leo. I actually think that's the message with the Page of Pentacles reverse. You know why? Because as much shit as people like to talk about Leo, a lot of people like to say that Leo is sorry. I just know, like, I'm always seeing something new. This girl's on a mandolin and she's like rooted, which I think is really cool in this card. You see her foot? She's kind of like got a root on her foot in the ground. But there's also like a little of splashes of red, which I'm just like, is that like supposed to signify blood? I don't know, like blood, sweat, and tears. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so as much shit as people like to talk about Leo, that like, oh, Leo is always like wants to be the center of attention and they're too gregarious and they're just extra, they're too much. First of all, you're welcome. Second of all, but I'm talking to my own people, so you get it. We'll wait for Sasha. This girl dehydrates herself all day and then finally remembers that she has multiple bowls of water around this house. My point is that as much shit as people like to talk about Leos are very generous and they're very loving. And I actually feel like Spirit's trying to tell you to not get involved. Don't get involved. Don't offer aid. Don't offer support. I mean, if it's on your heart to really do that, then do that. I don't know what's going on with within your family. I don't know who needs help. But it feels like somebody needs help. And I just keep hearing, don't get involved. You're going to have to, I think I don't want to overinterpret that. So you let your intuition guide you how it may. Because everybody's scenario is going to be different. So for example, let's say somebody comes to you and they ask you, that's a bad example. I would really just say, Leo, don't insert yourself. Let people come to you if they really need help, and then you decide if you can help or not. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So what I want to talk about, we have Be a Sport that came out first. You are being asked to have more fun and focus on being a team player. You could be great at any sports career or in the field of health and fitness. Improve your finances by considering working as a team or doing collaborations. We have Revision. Your expectations in the future are unrealistic and need revision. I rebuke that statement, but I accept needing to revise your plans. Perhaps your vision is big and may require a plan and need more careful thought. You could be setting yourself up for failure if you don't set realistic financial goals. Okay? I have a lot of thoughts about that card, but I always am welcome to the idea of like needing to change your manifestations and deciding that, okay, this isn't coming together how I thought. Maybe I need to change my energy around this. Maybe I need to change my action around this. I never think that your goals are too big, but I always believe we can adjust and tweak how we get there. And that's why it's really important not to put time limitations on your manifestations because there has to be detachment to time. There has to be. If you try to get something on time, sometimes you can get it, but you have to not need it. The only times I've ever seen somebody get what they want within a specific time frame is because they were really okay with not getting it. I use my townhouse all the time. I really wanted this townhouse, but I was really okay and comfortable with if I need to move into a hotel for a couple days or an Airbnb for a month till I get my shit together, that's what the fuck I'm gonna do. But I want this townhouse. If I don't get it, it's okay. That's the only time that I've really seen that happen. But if, not necessarily for me, but just in general, you've got to be detached to time. If you're too attached to time, usually things are not going to come together. So like, let's say you really want to be a millionaire before you're 40. If you're like clutching to that and that doesn't happen, like you got to give yourself room, Okay. Angelic help is coming through. So praise, your spirit guides are on your side. This is a time to trust in the universe and know that you will be provided for. There is a career or blessing lining up for you, so stay positive and believe. Pay attention to the signs your angels send you during this time. We receive that. Embrace the wisdom of the unknown. I kind of hate this card because this indicates to me that there is something that is being hidden from us at this time, Leo. Overall, I think don't get too deep in your family shit this month, to be very honest. If you have family or maybe close friends, don't get too involved and insert yourself in other people's bullshit, because I feel like you need to kind of keep yourself locked in to whatever your goals are. And I think that's why we had the Two of Swords here. Oh, should I help? Should I not help? And the High Priestess, you're all wrapped up in your intuition and your, again, magic wand. I have an abundance of resources, time, energy, and I can make people do what I want. What am I doing? Let that be your guide of like, okay, you know what? If I had it my way, I'm not fucking involved. You know, if I had it my way, I'd donate $10,000. You know, whatever your truth is, let that guide you. I did actually pick a card for you for your oracle message, but I did it in between your love and relationship and your career cards. So let's see what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's from the Spirit Animal deck. We're using her this month. And we have, okay, and see, that's why I like to pull these cards at the end. Set healthy boundaries. Set healthy boundaries. Like I've been saying, don't get involved. Don't get involved. That ain't your shit. That is not your problem. That is not your monkey, not your circus. Okay, number 3. Ooh, set healthy. I haven't seen this card in a long time. Wow, set healthy boundaries. Maybe it is going back to lovers. I don't know. Maybe there is a partner in your mind or a couple or whatever that you got to set boundaries with. Y'all going to have to let me know how this is connecting for you. Okay. Learning to set healthy boundaries is the gift of Armadillo Spirit. You are entering a phase where in order for you to be in alignment with your intentions and co-create your best life, you may have to be discerning and say no to many things that may have been okay for you in the past. This also means that you need to learn where you end and where others begin. What is yours to own and what is not? Know your limits and understand that it's an empowering choice to say no to what does not feel right. Armadillo Spirit is here to tell you it's time to be honest with yourself about what you really want. Like I've been saying, magic wand. Be clear on what you are agreeing to and declare what your needs are. And say no as a full sentence. These are acts of respect and kindness to others as well as to yourself. Trust your body's signals and you will know what to do. Armadillo Spirit guides you in making good decisions that are grounded in a strong sense of what belongs to you and what does not. Leo, and that's on period. That's on period. Child, don't get involved. Don't get involved. Keep focused on your shit and what you was trying to do. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay, I love you so much. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed. Drop some comments below. I look forward to reading them, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.